welcome. We are in here in the house. Five, four, three, two, one. We are going live. Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Pink Fan Fur. I am a super fan of the Carolina Panthers. I am a member and proud member of Carolina's Superfans United, as well as a member of the Roaring Riot, as well as a proud member of the Carolina Pantherettes. This is the Pink Fanfur and Company show, and today we have a very good show for you. This platform is dedicated for super fans by super fans, and the whole purpose of my platform for Pink Fanfur and Company is to bring super fans who are avid fans of their sporting team and have them come on our platform and share their experiences. So we'll get to our guest in just a few minutes. I want to put this disclaimer out there real quick. I understand that it is Monday Night Football. We know that the game is on. It's wild card weekend, so I'm going to be very respectful of everybody's time. And copyright disclaimer, fair use. We do not own or claim ownership of all this material. This material that does not belong to us belongs to the rightful owner. And so I want to make some shouts out before I bring on our guest for tonight. Like I said, this platform is for super fans by super fans, and I would not have had this opportunity to even develop this kind of a show without all of the people that came before me. And they were gracious enough to invite me, Pink Fanfur, onto their platform, and I was able to come on and tell my story. So I want to shout out to all of the fans and the super fans, like I said, came before me. So here they are. You guys have all been my inspiration, and if I left anybody out, charge it to the head and not the heart. Sonia Pearson of Cream and Proper Sports, number one. Number two, Mike Fosnaw, first and 10 with Foz, also shuffling 88. Captain Jack Rackham, Raider Nation. Erica Wilson of Moms of Motivated Sons. And last and shortly but not least, Malaysia Gresham Harrell of Tiny Miracles. And so just wanted to shout out, you guys have been a super inspiration for me to do this, and so I just wanted to put that out there on a public note. Okay, now it's time to get into it. Are you guys ready for our guest tonight? Our guest is a super fan of the Carolina Panthers. Our guest is a member and proud dedicated member of Carolina's Superfans United, as I indicated before, and also Carolina Superfans United is under the leadership and auspices of the Elaine Brown, aka Mad Cata. So going back to what our guest, she is a member of the Roaring Riot. She had the opportunity to meet our QB1, Bryce Young, as well as one of our other former players and legends, Trey Boston. And I wanted to bring her on tonight because she has a very incredible, inspiring story when it comes to just overcoming adversity and just getting through life, overcoming a lot of things, dealing with some things, but also being a super fan and, getting through some of those things. She's going to share a lot of those experiences with you tonight. So please welcome to the stage, Barb Dojo Cat Leonard.
What's up, Panther family?
Hello, Miss Lady.
What's going on, Pete?
How you?
I am good. I'm happy to be here representing our Carolina Panthers and our Carolina Superfans United. Ready to go, baby. Yes.
Thank you so much for joining the show. So excited to have you tonight. How was your holidays and everything? And by the way, happy 2025.
Thank you. Same to you. Happy 2025. And this year is going to be the year of the Panther. I had a great holiday. I had it, with my kids, my family, my wife. Just a great holiday.
Awesome. So again, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to turn on the comments for a second just to see if anything's coming in. We're going to keep an eye on those. Let's start off by talking about your incredible inspiring weight loss journey. We're going to talk about football a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about Carolina football, of course, without a doubt, because we're Carolina fans, right? We
Absolutely.
cannot let this show go by without talking about Bryce Young.
Mm-mm.
But let's talk about, if you'd like to share your experiences about your incredible weight loss journey.
I am the fourth of four children. I am 10 years behind my brother, 12 behind my sister, and then 14 years behind a brother I didn't know that I had until a few years ago. Um,
Hmm.
I grew up with older parents, very, very sheltered, awkward kid, chubby, picked on, bullied all the time. I just can't kept gaining weight, through the years. I grew up in a house where you were told, eat everything on your plate. And so I did, and I just continued to get bigger. I been active in sports and everything. I wasn't very good until around the age of 13. Some things started to click. But I had always been big and, you know, never fit in. I'm just the awkward kid. And, you know, a lot of things happened to me growing up. I was the victim of multiple types of abuse and learned to handle my feelings through, comfort with food. That's my beginning addiction was the food. And, in my early 20, I mean, when I was 19, I had my son, who is just an amazing 36-year-old man who I'm so proud of. And I've got a beautiful 13-year-old granddaughter who does karate with me. She's very happy to come over on weekends and spend time fighting and throwing each other around and sparring and stuff like that. I'm very fortunate, but I just continued to get bigger through the years. I think I quit school at 11th grade because I couldn't handle the bullying. Then I got an adult high school diploma when my son was born and was 18. But, the weight just kept adding on. Before long, I was 350 pounds. I started taking karate. Well, I took Tang Sudo, which is Korean, in my 20s. And did that
Is it
for.
called Taekwondo or is it something else?
It's Tang
Take,
Sudo. It's
take,
similar to Taekwondo. It's a Korean martial art.
okay, take pseudo.
But I did that a few years. I started it for my son, but he didn't continue, and I did. But I did that for a while, and because I've always had a love of martial arts, I grew up watching all the Bruce Lee movies, and my dad made me nunchucks, and I'd watch the movies, and I'd say, "I will avenge your
Hmm.
brother," you know. But
Yeah, but back in the day when they were playing the movies and it was behind.
yeah, and they're speaking in Japanese, Korean, but the English is like voiceover, but just kept getting bigger, and the bigger I got, the more I ate, honestly, because I would be depressed. So, you know, I quit karate for a while, went back in my 30s for a little bit, quit, continued to gain weight to the point where I'm the person riding the scooter at Walmart. I'm the person that can't go grocery shopping without riding a scooter. People stared and pointed at me. I got up to 401 pounds at my that's my highest record. It was 401, and I tried to be active with my son, and up until I was around 350, I could still be somewhat active. But after that, I had to sit on an office chair to cook, to do dishes, because I couldn't stand that long. I would lose breath. One of my friends told me it scared her to death because she saw my lips turning blue when I was trying to walk.
So it
So
became a health and wellness issue.
I was afraid. I had got to the point where I was afraid I was going to fall. Something was going to happen. I was going to end up in a nursing home and not able to take care of my son. Um, I decided to seek gastric bypass. So I had to jump through a lot of hoops. Took about a year. And in 2007, I had Roux-en-Y gastric bypass, which is where not only do they take most of your stomach out, but they also take away the top part of your intestines called your duodenum. So I have some issues because of that, like hypoglycemia. My blood sugar will
Mhm.
drop. Um, Dairy, something I can't do, but it saved my life. But I got down to around 290 pounds later. I gained, well,
Congratulations!
I had gotten down to like 220, and then
But you had to
started.
do something in order to get down to that,
Yeah,
which
I
we'll talk
did.
about too.
I did a lot. But then, like over the years, in 2016, I had got from 220, I had lost down to, gained back to 290. And I'm like, I'm in trouble here. I gotta do something. I don't like to exercise. I don't like to go to gyms. I love martial arts. So I started looking in the phone book, and I called a dojo and I talked to the sensei. It's
Hmm.
Ishinru Karate, which is based out of Okinawa, Japan. And he
Okay.
said, just come and try it. And I said, well, you know, I don't have very good stamina. He said, it's fine, we'll work with you. So at first, I could do about 10 minutes at a time. Could do about 10 minutes and sit down,
Hmm.
rest, get back up
So
and
you
do
had to
10
pace
more
yourself.
minutes. I definitely had to pace myself. But, I had, some background in other martial arts, and he could see that there was potential there. And I had the drive. I kept showing up, kept showing up. Little by little, able to stay out on that mat a little bit longer. So that was March of 2016 when I started Ishinru Karate. And January 16th will be the fourth anniversary of when I tested and became a black belt in karate, which is called a Shodan. Shodan is the first degree.
Hmm.
And this year I was promoted to Nidan, which is second degree black belt. Um,
Congratulations.
so
That
karate,
that's that deserves a huge congratulations, though.
thank you.
Right? I mean, you're talking about this and you're sharing this, but I'm not. You're not like. I guess the emotion associated with that promotions, those promotions are is missing, and so I'm like, I want to celebrate for you. You know what I mean? Does
I
anybody
appreciate
out there in
that.
the comments want to celebrate? Hold on a second, Dojo Cat. Hold on, we got some comments coming in. Alicia Fuller, Soldier Girl says, hello, ladies. Blue Phoenix says, what up? Uh, Soldier Girl said, what it do? What it do, ladies? OMG, that's it. Said, that's OMG, that's it. In the house. They are in the house. So, how many out there in the comments are seeing and listening to what I'm hearing that Dojo Cat is talking about all of her accomplishments since she's lost well over 100 pounds, and she's talking about these promotions that she's gotten. And I know that you have an anniversary coming up. We're going to talk about that. But if you're in the comments and you hear what I'm hearing, that the emotion is not necessarily associated with what she's talking about, what she's sharing. I want to be able to celebrate for her. Let's all jump in the comments and congratulate Dojo Cat and celebrate for her. So continue on, ma'am.
I appreciate that. You know, one of my greatest accomplishments, honestly, was prior to this time of going back, I had gotten my EMT and then I got my paramedic degree. And serving in EMS was another great joy of mine. I mean, just a great joy. And I miss it. I can't do it. I've had 18 surgeries total, 6 on my knees. But it's when my black belt test that day, I was crying. I just when there's something that you've dreamed about your whole life, it's been way out there and you can't reach it. I mean, it's so far away. I'd even asked my sensei at one time, I said, if I die before I reach black belt, will you promote me in my death? And absolutely, he said he would. But it takes years. It takes years of hard work. I mean, hard. Blood, sweat, tears. I've got so many broken bones. It ain't funny. When I took my black belt test, I actually broke my wrist so bad that day during a breaking that
Hmm.
I have a nice big piece of metal hardware in there. But I finished my test with a broken wrist, with a broken toe also.
That
But
is a very good feat. Like, congratulations on that. Soldier Girl said, I commend you on your successful path. You've achieved something a lot of people cannot. Congrats and keep pounding.
thank you very much. Um, I guess being a paramedic, you do learn to kind of shift into a different mindset, and I think part of part of why you don't see it is because I've been through so much trauma in my life. I disassociated. Um, I am a survivor of living with a mental illness. I was diagnosed with bipolar when I was 25. Medication is an absolute must. So I learned to manage my feelings, and I like to talk about my story and be vulnerable because it's so important that people not think that mental health is this horrible thing. Oh my God, I'm bipolar. I'm not going to be necessarily one of those people on TV that goes out killing people because they're bipolar. I manage mine. Um,
That's what it's about, managing.
but yeah, there is a
And
lot of emotion associated with it. I mean, when my sensei called me up and I didn't know he was going to promote me, I stood there. Angela, my wife, was beside me. She could watch me start shaking, and tears just rolling down my face when he's telling me that how proud he is of me and that he's promoting me to second degree black belt. And I don't always feel worthy, but black belt is a beginning, not an ending. The statistics are
so were there times where you didn't feel you were good enough? You didn't feel you mattered?
there are times today when I don't feel good enough that I matter. That is
Well, we all
something,
here to tell you do matter and you're good enough.
like I shared with my wife because she didn't realize this. Being able to be Dojo Cat is something that she has helped me do because just because I put this on and I go out there with, you know, bravado and I look like everything's okay, I'm still insecure. I'm still afraid that people are going to look at me funny. People are going to laugh at me because it's happened to me so many times in my life. So, when we go to the Roaring Riot in the football games, it's easy to do this. But when we go to other things
Because
like,
it's a persona.
right, but to put this persona on and go to like a smaller venue, like my friend does Prowl Entertainment, and he likes me to come in persona, or if I just go to the Roaring Riot at the H2 Public House, it takes. I feel insecure, you know, and I don't really feel any better until I get there and I see Reaper or I see Kata, and I'm not the only one. You know,
Right.
you can't
You're
judge.
not the only one.
Yeah,
Let
you
me
can't
let me
judge
let
the.
me interrupt you just a little bit because I heard your story and I heard all the adversities that you've been through. You're not the only one, and I am so proud, and I'm sure the people in the comments have congratulated you, and they're so proud of all of your accomplishments. And I think that what you're feeling and thinking are all normal. the thing is you have to test the validity of your thoughts, right? And if you're
Right.
thinking that this might happen or that might happen and these people might do this and these people might do that, think this and say that, that's like these common thinking things that people normally do who's gone through trauma. And these are the results of trauma, PTSD.
Yes.
And you actually think that you're not good enough, you don't matter. But again, you have to really look deep inside your intestinal fortitude and start thinking about, let me test the validity of my thoughts. Let me determine whether or not this is actually true. And a lot of time you're lying to yourself because none of those things that you think really ever happen. They're not true, right? So that's just my 2 cents to put in there for you. But you look amazing on camera, off camera, in person. No one would ever know what's going on with any of us, really, because we're come in persona. We come in this,
Yep.
this outfit, and we are there to represent our team and show nothing but team spirit. So I'm proud of you for coming up and talking about this issue because a lot of times you talk about the stigma. There's a definitely stigma associated around the mental health issues and the weight loss and the weight gain and all those other things that people go through. So I'm very proud of you. I know you're proud of yourself, but you do matter and you are good enough.
I,
Um,
I appreciate that.
Soldier girl says she got to take a call. She might be back, but just you sharing your story, and I heard you say you kept showing up. You have a love for karate and you have a love for martial arts. And so the good thing about what I'm hearing is that you found something that you love and
Mm-hmm.
you turned it into something, let's say, a money making business, so to speak, for you in the health and wellness realm. It has paid off because you did something you love to do, but not only did you do it for yourself, you did it for your kids and your family.
Yes, I did. I want to
And
be
so
somebody
now
they
I
look
ask
up
you,
to.
how do you feel? Like, how do you feel after you've lost so much weight?
I, I am proud of myself because at the bariatric clinic that I still talk to them every once in a while, and I mean that was 2007. That's 18 years ago. I still talk to them sometime, and they were. I am a success story because I have lost and kept off more than 150 pounds. Um, and that's a very small percentage of people that have gastric bypass. Um,
Absolutely.
you know, I did it for my son. I did it for my granddaughter. Did it for myself. Um, you know, one of my greatest joys today in being a black belt is I go to tournaments, competitions all the time. I'm lucky. I get to be a judge, and they know I love judging those kids because I can encourage them. I watch them.
Yes.
I give them tips. I applaud them because I needed that when I was little and I didn't have it. So it's important for me to give back. If
And
I
that's
don't
part of
give
the
back, yeah,
that is part of the community engagement that you're doing as well because you're doing something you love to do in giving back and making a difference in those kids, those other individuals who's going before you, doing exactly what you did before other judges. And I saw there was a picture in one of the promos where you were standing by one of your students. I say students, but you're a judge, and I called you an instructor. But if you're a judge, you're an instructor, a teacher, and a scholar. So I think it's a huge inspiration that you can make a difference and change in other people.
it is. If I couldn't do that, it wouldn't be worth it. Honestly, um, one of my greatest joys too is like teaching. I love teaching because I get to help somebody on their journey. And when you see somebody like there's one of my friends, she is now a first degree black belt. Her name is Lizzie. If you're listening, hey Lizzie. When I first came around to their dojo, I think she was still a beginner. So I helped her learn. I helped her grow. I pushed her to grow. And to see her evolve over the last few years and test for black belt and get black belt and still now she's going out there and she's doing exactly what I did. She's judging. She's helping others. And knowing that I had a small part in that, you know, I live through what I teach. They're going to go do what I've helped teach them to do. And so the legacy just goes on and on and on. Let me talk real quick about where Dojo Cat came from.
I was going to ask you that too, because I heard you mention that when you went to one of those meets there, you talked to well, before you started, you talked to a dojo. So yes, please share.
So I was at the Lake Norman Roaring Riot and met Mad Cata, and I met Miss Meow,
Your
which she's not
mentor.
really around anymore. But I mean, I'm just so taken by him. I mean, I love his personality, his spirit. It's just awesome. And so I'd been there a few times and got to know him and meet him, and I told him, you know, I've wanted to do something like this, but I didn't know how. So, you know, he started helping me, and I'm like, well, how do I find my persona? And so over thinking about it, you know, there two things that I'm very passionate about in this world is martial arts and the Carolina Panthers. So I started thinking, how do I put those together? Right? Like those are
Right.
my two greatest loves. I can be something unique. So I talked it over with him a lot, and we threw back and forth some names and stuff. And
Hmm.
I come up with Dojo Cat, and he really seemed to like that. I liked it, and it just seemed to stick. Because a dojo in Japanese is the place where you train.
The
And in
place where you
Korean, it's
train.
called a
Okay,
dojang,
got it.
but it's a dojo. A lot of people call me Doja Cat, but I'm not Doja Cat, obviously. I'm Dojo Cat.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so he helped me through
Everybody
all
out there in
that.
internet land, get it right. It's Dojo Cat.
Dojo Cat. Um, so, you know, it's evolved. This is, I think, this is the end of my third season as Dojo Cat. And every season it evolves a little more, and I add a little bit. I mean, I got, you know, working on
Yeah,
patches
tell us
here.
about your patches.
This is my favorite. This is the CSU patch, Carolina Superfans
Carolina
United.
Superfans United. Let's say it. One, two, three.
CSU,
Carolina Superfans
Fans
United.
United. That's our group, and we're gonna do big and bad things. Got my Rebuild the Roar from the Roaring Riot.
Rebuild the roar. Okay, cool.
Say no to discrimination. That's an
All right.
important thing. Because you know what? We all bleed red. We're all the same. This is just a covering. This is all this is,
Mm-hmm.
covered. We're all the
We
same
all
in the
bleed
inside.
red.
We all have our own life experiences, but we're all human. We need to be a
That part.
family and work together. So this, of course, Fans Against Bullying.
Fans
And I was
against bullying.
bullied,
Okay.
bullied
PSF.
so much. Yep. You recognize this chick right here? That's
No,
Pink.
I don't.
That's Pink Fanfare. That's who that is, Pink Fanfare.
Oh, that was
Got the
okay.
Port City Riot,
Port
Lake
City
Norman,
Riot. Shout out to Port City Riot. And who else?
Lake Norman Riot,
Lake Norman Riot. Shout out.
Gate City Riot when I used to live in High Point,
Gate City
Ca-
Riot.
Camel City Riot when I lived in
Campbell City
Winston-Salem.
Riot. Shout out.
I would love to have any more patches from any more Roaring Riots. I can't have enough of those. So,
Roaring Rioters, if you're out there listening, Dojo Cat wants some patches.
yep.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Tell us about that.
This was made. This is my Dojo Cat. I designed this, and Anthony Leonard made this. He's on my Facebook. Anthony Leonard made it. So I really love this.
Hold that up again. I'm going to take a picture. I
Got
can't
that?
see your face.
Uh,
Down. There you go. Let's see that big smile.
yeah.
There you go.
Dojo cat.
All right.
I
Nice.
made
Very nice.
it's very important that they got the tie right in the black belt
That's gorgeous.
because this is my custom made black belt I
Black
had
belt.
made.
Hey, hiya.
Keep pounding.
Okay. Keep
And
pounding, baby.
Barb Dojo Cat Leonard.
Oh, that's so
I
nice.
just got this one made, and it's shows my rank bars. I got two stripes.
Hey.
One thing you'll see me do when we go to the Roaring Riot is I like to break a board. This this is the standard size board I break. It's about an inch thick, and I like to just put the name of the team. We're gonna like beat them Bucks, and I break this board so to hype people up, get them
We
ready.
got some comments coming in, Dojo Cat. Hold on a second. OMG, that's it said. That's really cool. Glenn Simmons. Shout out to Glenn Simmons. She says she, I'm sorry, Glenn. Hi all. And then OMG, that's it. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I'll take
Yeah,
any questions too.
awesome.
Anybody have a question?
Yeah,
Feel
we'll
free to
take some
ask.
questions. Let me see. I got a couple of questions for you. Speaking about your persona, I talked about your patches. What's it like being a super fan?
It is a really cool thing because the thing that we have together is this unity, and that's my favorite part because when I came in, all of a sudden I'm embraced by all these amazing people with these amazing personalities and personas, and there's a story behind every persona. You know, why did you want to do it? And the great thing is that you have this Panther family, this super fan family, and we watch
Mhm.
out for each other. We stick up for each other. We
We do.
bond together. And we love our Panthers, win, lose, or draw. And that's not an easy thing to do over the last few years, but we keep
Especially
at
not
it.
this season. Well,
No,
the
but
last 3 seasons, actually.
yeah, but we don't give up. I think that's the common thing with all of us super fans is that we're not bandwagon fans. We're here for the real.
We're here
And
for
we
the real.
always got each other. At the end of the day, whether we win or lose, we got each other.
We do, and I so appreciate that and you saying that because remind the public about we are just not here to put on a costume or an outfit or wear a persona, but like you said, when you figure out that your persona is going to be based on the love of your team and the love of something else that you love, you put those two together. That is
Yeah.
amazing. Now, speaking of celebrities, we're going to talk more football. We're going to talk a little bit more football too. You met Bryce Young and Trey Boston. What was that like?
Well, both they were both just great guys. I happened to be in Charlotte one day when practice was about to end, and I stood out there and waited. I got to meet Bryce, and let me say this thing about Bryce, and the guys told me he's the last one off that practice field, and he was. Everybody had already gone into locker rooms. Bryce was the last one out.
Mhm.
This was last season. Um, I met him, and he was just the most humble young man. I was telling him, I said, man, I'm just amazed that you're still healthy. I said, we need to get you some protection. And he's like, man, it's a team thing. We're all trying to work together. He never threw anybody under the bus. It was team for him.
Mhm.
And he took a picture, gave me autograph. Just such a humble
Oh,
young
that's
man.
amazing.
I loved it.
To meet QB1. Now,
Yeah,
did you know that I was there when he was drafted?
I did remember seeing you there when he was drafted. That's pretty cool.
If
I
it's
was at
as
Camp
pretty
Newton.
cool as you meeting him, you actually met him and talked to him. I only was there to see it, but I think both experiences are really good. So I'm just happy that you got a chance to meet the Bryce Young. We got
Yeah.
William Wells said, Greatest fans. We're the greatest fans. I got the noti.
Yep, yep.
But tell us about what it was like meeting Trey Boston. He's one of the Panthers legends.
Oh, I love Trey Boston. We had the thing at the Southern Distillery where they made the special Carolina Panthers bourbon, and he was there to sign the bottles and sign autographs and stuff. And the guy walks in, and he's just like anybody else. He's like walking into a room with friends. I mean, he just down home, easy, laughing, joking, taking pictures. I mean, he is such a nice guy. You know,
Cool guy.
if you didn't know who he was, you would just think he's, you know, definitely not a Carolina Panther, just your regular guy. He was so sweet, you know.
Yeah, that's
I love it.
awesome.
He was fun.
William
That
said, humble, that young man is farther along in his years, speaking about Bryce Young.
he is.
Thank you for that comment, William Wells. He too is a member of the Carolina Superfans United. So welcome aboard, man. Good to see
Awesome. No, that day I went to practice. I also had there was a couple more players that stopped by and took pictures with me. And you know, a lot of them just ride the carts and they wave and they go on. Chuba stopped. Got a picture with
you,
Chuba.
Bubbert.
I got a picture with Shaq. I got a picture with Andy
That's
Dalton.
right.
I got pictures with Andy Dalton. Um, I love me some
Do you
Chuba
have them
too.
in your cage? Your what do you call your little area right there? Your
It's my
fan
fan.
zone,
It's my fan cave.
your fan cave. You have all of your pictures, of course, up, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, my
Oh,
wife
that's
tells me
amazing.
I'm gonna run out of walls soon, but I'll make room. I'll make room. Don't
We
test
got the
me.
construction people in the comments. Barb Dojo Cat needs your help. What, what do you think? Like, so out of all the memorabilia that you have, what do you what do you treasure the most?
As I was telling you before, I think my most treasured thing is years ago before FanFest, you had to buy it. You could go to FanFest, you could actually go look in the locker rooms, get on the field, watch the practice, go down at the end of it, stand there and actually get autographs. So I had D'Angelo Williams was on the front of the program that I had bought that day. And D'Angelo actually came up and was hanging out and talking to us, and he signed that program for me. And I framed that
Oh,
baby, and I got it. I think that, you know, that year the years we had D'Angelo and Stewart, double trouble.
yep,
Oh, we were trouble, for sure. That's one of
double
my
trouble.
favorites. Double trouble. Yeah.
That's
So
amazing. I actually got to meet D'Angelo Williams in 2007.
I love that. And I love the way he supported his mom through the whole breast cancer thing and all this. Breast cancer is very close to
Yeah.
me. My sister had breast cancer, almost died. She's been a survivor now for 6 years. Um, you know, crucial catch when we do that stuff. It's very important. Early screening, definitely very important.
Very, very important. And we have themes associated with that in one of our games. I think it's October, which is the Crucial Catch month, correct?
Right, right.
I know we all wore pink for the most part. We tried to wear pink on in that game.
Right, yes.
Uh, Looking at your season, 2024 season, what do you feel like with the 2024 season now that it's come to a close and it's a wrap?
Yeah.
What do you feel like your best memory was of that season?
You know, I was fortunate enough to get to go to a few games and be there, you know. Um, when we're all in that stadium, and that stadium is something magical to me. It's not just a stadium. It's magical. When I'm there, I feel like, you know, it's my Disneyland. Being a part of that and being a part of that with other super fans, um, you know, I leave this, even though we had a losing season, I leave it with a lot of hope that I didn't have earlier on in the season, because
Right.
I've seen us come so far as a team with all the injuries and everything else. And now to see Bryce out there shining, taking hits, getting up, smiling, scrambling for yards. You know, we had what, 3 ties, 4 ties this year. Teams that were tough thought
We
they could
came
come
very
over.
close to tying, or well, we went into overtime, I think, three
Yeah, the
games.
overtime, like 3 games. I mean, I was hyped. Yeah, maybe we didn't get the W, but it's still a win because it was a win for our teams. You know, their inner fortitude. They needed that confidence. It's we just rebuilt it. So I'm leaving this season hopeful and watching Bryce after being benched come back, and you could see the growth in him, and you could see him watch the field and react to it
Mhm.
differently than he did before and mature. He's maturing very, very quickly on that field. And I mean, so it's hard to say just one thing. I loved it when we
Yeah,
tied the Chiefs. You know, that was probably my favorite when we tied the Chiefs because everybody thought the Chiefs were just going to come in and walk all over us, and they didn't. And
that is absolutely correct. I was fortunate enough to be there and
yo,
watch it, and it was electric. Do you hear me?
I hear
Electric
you.
in your Disneyland, my happy place, and everybody else, hopefully, who's a Carolina Panthers fan who loves our lair. It is a
Yep,
beautiful place to be. But that place was electric, and it was
I
amazing.
hear
So I'm
that.
right there with you.
I mean, I'm on
Same
the
with the
couch.
Tampa Bay game.
Oh, I know, right? My son traded, you guys, my son traded on me and is now a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. I asked myself as a mother, what did I do
Really?
wrong? But what you need to know is that we shocked them.
We
And another
did.
thing is when my son and his wife come to stay with me in town, guess where they sleep? Right here in the Panthers room.
Do you have to give them some headache pills or something?
Don't mess with your mother, son. Even if you're 6'4".
Listen, you're not gonna believe this, but everybody out there who knows me know I love Alabama, right?
Roll
So I
Tide.
have an Alabama room and a Carolina Panthers room.
Now I need to see that. I need to see
So
that.
you take your pick. You know what I mean? You pick your poison.
Well, my
So
wife's from
looking,
Wisconsin
go
and
ahead.
she's got Green Bay stuff in the office. She tried to put some coasters in here at Green Bay, and I'm like, you got to be out of your mind. Get that out of here. This is mine right here.
I know Green Bay is kind of like half yours, and then you got now Tampa Bay on the side of your family. Looks like Tampa Bay was a one and done, and so was Green Bay. Deuces.
Ooh.
And the way this game is looking, I think it's halftime. It's 24-3. LA Rams leading the Vikings.
Okay, okay. I'm good with that. Growing up, I don't know why, but I was a LA Rams fan. Had my helmet, had my jersey, my coat, my gloves, all that stuff.
Mm.
Rams.
Have you ever visited SoFi Stadium?
I have not visited. I've seen it from the outside, but I've not been in it.
Mm.
So,
Speaking of LA, before we move to the
oh,
next segment,
yeah,
just throwing out, words of wisdom and a moment of silence for all of the victims of the fires
yes,
and the devastation going out there in California, one devastation after another following the things that happened in New Orleans. So we're sending our thoughts and prayers and well wishes to all of the families out there and everybody out there in LA and California and New Orleans.
yeah. And my
So
go.
looking at the draft coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like? And then we're going to talk about 2025 season. We'll close with some other questions that I have for you regarding your journey. What do you feel like in the draft we need to do?
Well, we've had so many injuries. I think O line is a very top priority. Um, I think that we've got people are talking about drafting wide receivers and such. Um, I think that Coker is coming along really well. I think that we got a promising thing with Coker. Um, People have given Leggett a hard time,
Mhm.
but I'm thinking, you know, number one, he's a rookie. Number two, he's been in situations where the balls have been extremely hard to catch or they've been knocked away. So I still think he's very promising for us. I think that it's a good possibility that we look at drafting another wide receiver. Wouldn't mind seeing us get another running back, but I think the O line is probably
Might as well.
one of the top priorities.
Mm,
Because
that
if we
part.
can keep Bryce safe enough to give him time to throw the ball, then obviously we're going to have a better outcome. And Chuba's killing it, but we need that 1-2 punch like we used to have. I mean Sanders, he's doing a pretty good job. It's just we haven't had a healthy team all year. We haven't fielded the same team every
Yeah.
every game.
I think we were plagued with injuries
Mm-hmm.
the entire season, especially on the defense side of the house.
God, yes, we have been. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how we do in the draft. And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the draft and actually considering going to the draft this year. So
Yep.
I went to the draft last year and then, of course, the year before. So I would say that if you have not had an opportunity to get to the draft, it is a very excellent, unforgettable experience.
I would like to do
So
that. I do know this that not this year's draft, but the next year's draft will be in Green Bay, and I've never seen
it's in
Lambeau.
Green Bay this year.
Is this year it's in Green Bay?
Yes.
I would love to see Lambeau, not just for me, but for my wife. It's such a historic place. I would love to go and be a part of that whole experience. I was at
Yeah.
when the year we drafted Cam Newton, I was in Carolina at the stadium for his draft party. So I got a picture of me
Oh,
holding up his
really?
I got a picture of me holding up his jersey.
2010, right?
Yeah, let me see here.
I was in Hawaii, but yeah, I'm glad that you were there. Won the title game with Auburn University. He was the number one pick, and he was the league MVP times two. Shout out to
Yeah.
Cam Newton out there. Hey, there you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, that was the year we had him, and then of course I got him, and I got me and Bryce.
Ah,
My QB
awesome. Two
ones,
number one picks.
my QB ones, baby, my
You
QB
got a lot
ones.
of great memories with those players. That's amazing.
I'm a Panthers fan till I die. I don't care if we're winning or losing. I don't quit. They don't quit. We keep pounding.
You heard that, Carolina Panthers. If you're listening, we're all here for you. We are keeping pounding, keep pounding, baby. We love you guys, Carolina Panthers. We
Keep
love
pounding is
you.
keep pounding is not just for football. Keep pounding is for life. Because I'm telling you, I struggle with. I've had 18 surgeries, but I still compete in karate tournaments. I don't win sometimes, and that's fine. And I have to remember that my worth is not based on the judge's review of my performance. My worth is based upon what's in here and what I put out there. As long as I put my best out there, then I've done something. I've won. Even if I don't place first place.
And I think that the judges, because you're a judge, I think that they understand that and they can feel that because like you said, even if you don't win, sometimes it's not really about the winning, it's about the content of your character and how you display yourself on stage, or not that it's just a mechanical thing, it's what you do from your heart. And I think that being judges, they can see that you're performing with the best intentions of everything that's coming outside your intestinal fortitude.
And there's a camaraderie between, especially us karate women. We got our own little family, our karate family, and we live in different states. We don't see each other, but at tournaments and stuff a lot of times. But when we get together, we're sisters. You know, I'm very fortunate.
Sisterhood is so important.
I've got friends all over this country, you know, and I drive for a living. I've been to 48 states, but I've got karate connections all over this. Heck, I've got karate connections in Okinawa. Um, when I got my black belt, I actually had a good friend, Andy Sloan, lived in Okinawa, and he had a belt made for me with the correct kanji, which is my name and everything in, you know, the correct Japanese writing. And he sent that to me, and that's one of my prized possessions.
That's so great to hear. I just think it's so amazing how you've got these connections, and so that tells you a lot about yourself and who you are as a person. There's a lot of people out there that love you, you know, so you got a lot of memorabilia to show for it, and people just give you things because of who you are. Let me see, we got some comments coming in. Hold on a second.
And yo,
Jay,
I
Captain
can't
Jack
see,
Levy
so
is in the house. Look at that. He said, I'll be in Green Bay for the draft. We'll see you there, Captain Jack. William Wells said, correct. Keep pounding.
yes, sir. Keep pounding.
Take care, Captain Jack. We love you, man. Raider Nation, rock and rolling. Captain Jack was one of those young men that I thanked at the beginning of the show because he's had
Okay.
me on his show several times, and like I said, they gave me this thing to do. Someone said, "Oh, Karen Belk, I got to say this." Hey, she said, "Roll Tide, roll." That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Karen Belk. Shout out.
That's
So,
cool.
Dojo Cat, I don't want to be respectful of your time. It's almost 10 o'clock, but I want to end on a good note. Not everything we've been talking about has been great. Like your story is absolutely amazing, so very inspirational. And you said that you just kept showing up. You just kept showing up. That's very similar to keep pounding. So I want to
Yeah.
continue to encourage you to keep showing up, keep pounding, keep showing up, and keep pounding no matter who says what.
Yes,
There's no
ma'am.
turning back now, as one of my good friends said to me.
No.
Keep pounding. So
Yes, ma'am.
listen, I have a couple of questions in reference to this, and you may have addressed this, and I may have missed it. In reference to everything, like culmination of all the adversity that you've overcome, and it's been a lot. And so the key phrases is that you've overcome adversity
Yes.
throughout your process. What have you learned about Barb, Dojo Cat, and Leonard?
I've learned that you can't control what life throws at you. You can only control how you respond to that. And I say respond instead of react because when I
Mhm.
was 400 pounds, I could have easily just it was going to be too hard. And God, it was hard. I could have just let myself lay there and continue to lose my life. But I chose to do
Chose.
something to change it. I've been
You
homeless.
had a choice.
I've been homeless. I've had, you know, slept in my car, been without heat, been without power, been without food. You just have to keep going. I mean, you have a choice every day what you're going to do. And I've not always made the right choice. I mean, with my mental health, I've battled. I mean, I've been in and out of the hospital at times where I didn't want to live. And that's a really bad feeling. But I also knew I had to have help. So sometimes you have to ask for help. You have to swallow your pride. You have to ask for help. But
Yes.
you just, you have a choice. You can succumb to whatever's happened to you and let it overtake you and rule your life. Or you can look at solutions. Okay, this is the problem. What's the solution? And work toward that. Sometimes you're going to fail. You know, you're going to fail in life. But you know, there's a proverb, fall down 7 times, get up 8. So I've fallen down 7,700 times, and I've got up 800 times. You know,
There you go.
you even if it's a small step, if it's the small step in the right direction, it's better than not doing anything.
It is.
And that's what I
It
try to
is.
remember.
That is a fascinating and very profound concept that you shared because it is always important for you to learn something about yourself in every single situation, and you know that it opens up the vulnerabilities for you, even you sharing your story, but you take that to heart and you realize that you do have a choice. And everybody out there, if you're experiencing any mental health issues or any kind of any other adversity, know, having going through some of the things that Dojo Cat has gone through, or anything that she hasn't gone through, whether it's addiction, whether it's gambling, whether it's food, or whatever the case is, being addicted to a person, place, thing, situation, or whatever, you always have a choice. You
Yes,
have
you do.
a choice. And Dojo Cat says you cannot do it by yourself. You cannot do it alone. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Let me just tell you, you know as well as I know, Dojo Cat, there's so much help out there. So I'm so glad that you chose to stay on this side.
You and me both. It's a lot brighter over here.
It is it's a lot brighter over here. I'm so glad that you're here. Your story is so compelling. Couple of questions and we'll end. How do you maintain this self motivation? How do you apply this to daily life? We'll go out with note two. How do you apply, how do you maintain your self motivation, and how do you apply that to daily life?
Well, number one, I have to stay on top of my mental health by taking the proper meds. Um, I've been in therapy for many years. I've been in therapy for a couple decades. Taking care of my mental health is priority. Period. I have to do check-ins with myself. How am I feeling? If I'm not feeling in a good way, why is that? Um, I have to troubleshoot daily. I try. There are things in my life that feed me. The people around me that love me and I love, they feed me. Music to me is life. Hearing that every day, it feeds me.
Mm-hmm.
Having a
So,
support group of people like the super fans and
support
my
groups.
karate family, that feeds me. So, it's just some sort of routine that you get into. Like work for me is therapeutic. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's just basic things. And at some point I start feeling like I can't, then I have to start using. I have a toolbox, and in
A
that toolbox,
toolbox.
the
Yes.
mental toolbox. You talk to friends, family, you talk to your spouse, talk to
Right.
your therapist, you listen to music, you do self meditations, you can journal,
You
um,
you
sunlight
engage in your
therapy.
positive self talk.
Yes, engage in positive self talk. So you have to grow a toolbox so that when problems come up in your life, you can go to that toolbox and start using things so you don't get in such a bad place. You know, that's how I every day is basically. I do the things that
So
feed my soul.
that's a good way of looking at it. That you look at and you utilize the things and people, places, and things and situations that feed you, and you have to eat because you've chosen to stay on this side. So as long as you've chosen to stay on this side, I want you to continue to build your toolbox and continue to expand your toolbox and keep putting more tools in your toolbox,
Yep.
so that you can continue to grow and develop as the person you are, and the beautiful person you are. And you've achieved so much. in your life, and you're going to continue to achieve things if you set your heart to these things. OMG said, that's it said, you're such a strong example for us all. Thank you for sharing. Blue Phoenix says, that's great advice. So
Thank you.
you gave some really great advice, Dojo Cat, and we thank you. What are
Thank
your
you.
last parting words for the viewers as we close for tonight?
If I can come from the little bitty awkward kid that was bullied, got up to 400 pounds, couldn't walk to the mailbox, got picked on, made fun of, mental health issues. If I can turn it around, become a second degree black belt, a teacher, a mentor, a super
A
fan,
judge,
a judge,
a
you can
driver.
do it. Yeah, and I'm very proud of my driving. I'm a commercial driver. I can drive. I'm a very good driver. But if I can do this, overcome all that adversity, I've had 18 surgeries. I still do karate and compete. I can't do it like some, but I do the best I can. You take what you have and use it to the best of your ability. And that's what I'm telling you to do. You don't have to be Bryce Young. You don't have to be an Olympian. You don't have to be none of that. You can be who you are, but be the best you can be.
Be the best
That's
you
what I'm
can be.
saying.
Outstanding, amazing advice. Be who you are. That's what I heard. Who's your furry friend over there?
Oh, this is Piper. Oh,
Hey,
Lordy.
Piper.
I got Piper and Paisley over here. I got a blue healer and an
Hey,
Aussie.
Piper and Paisley. We got some pets in the house.
She's trying to
They
lick
said,
my
Mama,
food.
we trying to get you out of here. It's time to go and watch this football game. So I want to say thank you so much for showing up and showing out and just sharing your story through the vulnerability. And the biggest thing that I notice is the courage that you have to share your story because of so much stigma associated with these things people just don't want to talk about.
Right.
We've got to have you back on the show again. You are welcome to come on the show anytime. How can the viewers find you on social media?
They
Can
can
you
find
put your
me.
handle in the comments?
Yeah, on Facebook, I go by Barb Dojo Cat Leonard. It's on the bottom of the screen. On Instagram, I'm Karate Mamaw, MAMAW 68 on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok under Barb Dojo Cat Leonard, and I do have a YouTube page. And if you find my Facebook, I'm going to post all those links, and I'm also going to post a video of the whole Panthers cave so you can see everything.
Okay, that would be wonderful. So I'm gonna put your Facebook in there, and you can go back a little bit later and also put your handles in there for Instagram, your YouTube, and your TikTok. So I did put your Facebook in there. So you guys go out there and follow Dojo Cat on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and all those other things. We're gonna have you back on here real soon.
It's been a
I want you to
pleasure.
do nothing but keep pounding, lady. So very proud of you and the person you've
Always.
become. Because look, I can even attest to this as a member of Carolina Superfans United, how you've evolved as a super fan.
Oh, thank you. Well, you guys are my mentors. You guys are my inspiration. You know, I
No,
love it.
no, you are our inspiration because we we are because we are. We're not alone. We're all in this together. We're all family.
We
So
are.
I'm gonna re-air this probably 2:30, 2 o'clock this morning, you guys, and then I'm probably re-air it again in a day or two. So if you didn't catch the live, you can go back and catch the replay or the restream. And make sure you go follow her on all her social media. Follow, like, support, subscribe. Pink Fanfur at Pink Fanfur on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. That being said, I know that the game is still going on. Barb Dojo Cat Leonard, I want you to have a great day, a good evening. Be safe. Take care and keep pounding. And we will sign off for tonight.
All right, go Rams.
I'ma ride with the squad, rockin' silver and black. We the Raiders from the West.